Welcome to this introduction to modern management, an introduction to leadership, a class that I've designed for you in a way that I would have wanted to be taught when I was in your shoes. And let me just share with you where I was when I was in your shoes, basically. I was a student in Germany. I studied business and management. I was fascinated at the time by managers for some strange reason, I believe. And I just wanted to share that with you so that you understand where I'm coming from and why I'm giving this course a specific spin. I didn't really know what managers were doing, but I thought, oh, you know what? Managers seem to have power. Society looks at them with a certain way of admiration. You have magazines that profile great managers like Forbes, like Business Week, all of this. And I didn't know much about business. My family wasn't interested in business. They were all in the sciences, etc. But I found it quite appealing and attractive. So when I had a chance, I was able to work in a business, in a very large business, in a pharmaceutical company in Switzerland. And I was very excited because it was the headquarters of a large multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. And I felt important. I felt how people were making important decisions, how everything that I was doing was connected with big numbers. And I also felt like, oh, you know what? The success of these people around me, big managers, was rubbing off on me. And I liked it. I wanted to be like these people. I remember at one point, I was telling my mother coming home that, you know what? That day, I ran with some of the top-level managers, the C-suite managers of this large corporation. They sometimes got together for lunch and then ran through the forest that was adjacent to the company headquarters. And at one point, I just ran with them. I was so excited. I was enthused. And I wanted to share with my mother. And my mother wasn't very impressed. She didn't really understand, and worse, she didn't really care. Well, anyhow, I pursued that direction. I got an MBA. I studied business because I wanted to become and emulate these role models that I felt were very good people, professionals that I admired. When I did get my MBA, some years later, I happened to come across a Wall Street Journal. And I did my MBA in a US institution at Indiana University, which had an exchange program with my German university at the time. So I was quite excited to be there. And much like today, people force you, quote unquote, to read the news. And I didn't find it particularly interesting in the way that the Wall Street Journal was set up, so I did read it sometimes, but not very often. Except for this one day. Serendipity is the word to describe it. I picked up the Wall Street Journal, and in the back page of the first section, there was a headline. And it said, largest ever fine leveled against the company that I'd been working with. And I was shocked. At the time, $500 million was a big, big fine. What were they fined for? They were fined for forming a cartel. And I read through the article, and I saw that two of the managers that I admired so much, the heads of that division, were now in prison. It was a shock for me. And in retrospect, some of the things made sense, because I remember talking with the other managers that yes, the markets had been stable, that somehow the market share is very, very clear, that the three competitors always have and share a similar kind of market share, and I just didn't think much about it. Only then I understood, oh, you know what? That may have been the problem. That may have been the reason of the cartel. Anyhow, it doesn't matter much. It seems to me more than ever that many managers are operating under ethically questionable standards. I was very shocked about that at the time. I questioned my personal ethics. It's like, how is it possible for me to admire such people? I thought I would never, ever do that. I thought of myself as a person with high integrity. I thought I was going to be a good guy, and I wanted to be powerful. If this resonates with you in some way, I just encourage you to dig deeper with me in this course. And I also invite you to come with me on this journey, because since I was a manager and studied and gained experience, I also was never really clear on the question, what is good management? What is better management? And this course is going to be an exploration in that. What is it? What does it mean to be a good manager? So welcome again, and join me for this exploration.